Syllaboo, everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything Montreal Canadiens. Today, that's probably the best way to describe this game. The Canadiens are the most inconsistent, incompetent defensive team in the NHL. I have no clue how we're even close to above 500 like we are right now. This team, they played a very solid game against the Penguins and retaliated tonight by being a complete cancer on the ice, basically. And not in a good way. We're going to talk about it. All right, we played the New York Rangers tonight. So you already know it's going to be a boring game. Weirdly, the Islanders and Rangers have kind of swapped this year. Usually the Rangers are exciting and the Islanders are super boring. This year the Islanders are a little bit exciting and the Rangers are super boring. But, let's just get into the lines because I don't want to talk about this for too long. The opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Bolduc, Slavkovsky, Kapanen, Demidov, Anderson, Beck, Texier, Vallejo, Evans, Gallagher. On the blue line, Hudson, Dobson, Matheson, Carrier, and Jack-Eye Engstrom. That's right, Struble is thankfully a scratch tonight, and Jack-Eye is back. And I thought Jack-Eye had a good game. I think he actually ends up tonight as a +1. And we'll get into something good about Jack-Eye too. Engstrom was horrible tonight. He showed that I'm right, everybody else is wrong. He's not an NHL quality defenseman. And of course, Jacob Fowler gets the start in the net for the Canadiens because he gives them the best chance to win tonight. Samuel Montembeault backs him up. I assume he'll go tomorrow at home against Edmonton, but I don't know. Maybe they want us to lose and they put Dobesh in. I don't know. We'll see. I would be in favor of back-to-back starts for Dobesh, considering he really did not face a ton of shots tonight. He probably could go. But yeah, the lines for the Rangers were Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Sheary, Trocheck, Miller, Cooley, Laba, Berard, and Radish, Carrick, Chamler, who I'm pretty sure was a scratch, but I'm not going to bother looking up who replaced him because they're the Rangers, they're irrelevant. Gabrikov, Schneider, Soucy, Borgen, and Vakanainen and Robertson were on the blue line. Shesterkin gets the start in net, of course. Igor Shesterkin, he's been a solid goaltender. Sorry, talking about Rangers goalies really makes me tired. But Igor Shesterkin gets the start in net, and Jonathan Quick backs him up, as he's been doing. But ironically, I believe he's actually been the better goaltender throughout the first part of the season. Unless he's fallen off the last 10 games last time I checked the goalie stats. But last time I checked, he was still much better than Igor. Alright, I was going to get right into the stats. Believe me, I wish I could. Alright, in the first period, the Rangers celebrate their 100th anniversary, a pretty bad ceremony. They just show a highlight of some of the greats when the Madison Square Garden opened up, and then bring them out, and that's it. It was about 20 minutes, and it was about 10 minutes too long. No clue how a team celebrating their 100th anniversary is this lackluster, but hey, alright. Sportsnet showed this, but they didn't show the Markov ceremony. That's pretty lame. The Rangers press early. Panarin has a good setup. Fowler with a good pair of stops. The Habs do get a clear. Demidov finds Kapanen wide open, but the puck just off his tape. That would have been a good chance on the rush. The Rangers hem the Canadiens in for a minute. Dobson and Hudson can't get a clear. Second line has a rush. Slavkovsky goes just wide of the net on a low slot shot. Rangers then hem the Habs fourth line in for another minute, but there's no shots. There's a break for Bolduc. He shoots wide. The Habs go in offside. If you're worrying, the Canadiens don't have any shots, don't worry. The shots are only 4-0 for the Rangers 9 minutes in. And spoiler alert, not a ton of shots for either team throughout most of the game. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Canadiens turn the puck over several times. Jack-Eye with one that's bad from behind the net. Fowler makes the save. Suzuki off some board play. There's a pass to Caulfield, but he fans on the shot. And the Canadiens score with 7:19 left in the first period. Zach Bolduc gets his 7th goal of the year. He scores from Suzuki and Caulfield on a nice rush. Just centers it. Bolduc just has to basically tip it in. And it's 1-0 Canadiens on their first shot of the game, no less. There we go. Bolduc looking good. Rangers press. Laba gets pressured and he turns it over. The Habs end up cycling. Demidov, though, has no gas on a near 2-on-1. Texier then goes to Anderson on a 2-on-1, who, of course, doesn't score. And then the Canadiens do score. Oh, my God. Arbor Xhekaj. He gets his first goal of the year. He is now no longer the last... He is no longer the last Canadian who needs to score, who's been consistently in the lineup. That would go to Jaden Struble. And technically, if you want to, consider him Patrick Laine. Arbor Xhekaj, he snaps a 25-game pointless drought. He just gets it through traffic from Carrier and Texier. Very nice shot. Good on him. Hopefully this unlocks a little bit more offense from him down the stretch for a little bit. He scores from Carrier and Texier. The Habs make it 2-0. 2 goals on 2 shots with 6:50 left. This is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, I would say so. Suzuki then hits the post. He almost made it 3-0. Shesterkin makes his first save on a Caulfield near wrap. Habs get a little bit of momentum. And the Canadiens score again. A board battle gets won by Montreal. Hudson with a nice backhand right to Evans. And he puts it home with 3:42 left in the first. Jake Evans with his 5th of the year. He snaps a 6-game pointless drought from Hudson. And who is this? Joe Veleno gets another point. Good for him. He snaps a 10-game pointless drought. Does he? Also, Carrier on the 2-0 goal snaps a 7-game pointless drought. Good on him. So a lot of droughts ending tonight. This game is going the way of the Canadiens. Hell yeah. 3-0. I believe that's 3 goals on, I think, 7 shots. The Canadiens had a very good first period. But they go to the penalty kill with 3 minutes and 1 second specifically left. Hudson's called for an interference, which I kind of get why it's called. A lot of refs probably wouldn't. I understand why it was called, though. The Rangers look to set up. There's a good shot block by Kapanen. That leads to a clear. Shesterkin sends it right back up, but the shot gets stopped by Fowler. There's a scramble in front. Rangers, sorry. There's a scramble in front. The Rangers don't score, and somehow Evans ends up on a breakaway, but he doesn't get a shot as there's a good stick from... That wouldn't be Vladislav Gabrikov. I didn't see the number or the name, but a very good stick from whoever was back in time to break that up. They go back the other way, and the Rangers score. Matheson's on the ice, so that makes sense. Noah Laba, he makes it 3-1. That is surprisingly his 5th of the year. He scores from Will Cooley and Connor Sheary with 1:11 left. The Habs are unfortunately 0-1 on the penalty kill. Well, you know what? Hey, that's fine. Whatever. Just, you're still up 3-1 going to the second period. Wait, no, you're not. Panarin gets gifted a penalty shot after a Dobson coverage on him. He gets the shot off. I don't know how they can call that a penalty shot. Genuinely, it was the Canadiens versus the refs tonight. I know it's a meme that Rangers fans will always bitch about the officials. This is a game that they won because of the referees. And horrible Mike Matheson. I'm pretty sure he was on the ice for every single goal tonight except for the penalty shot goal. Spoiler. And yes, Panarin does score. He's got a great shot. Fowler can't be blamed on that one. It's just a really good shot from Panarin. And Panarin scores on the penalty shot with 52 seconds left. And just like that, a 3-0 Canadiens lead goes to 3-2 before the end of the fucking period. So naturally, to gift wrap the Canadiens something in return, they get a power play. With 7.6 seconds left, because that's really going to do shit for us. Gabrikov's called for a trip on Brendan Gallagher. Galley surprisingly doesn't get called for embellishment. That's a bit surprising. Rangers clear. Habs will have 1:53 of power play time to start the second. Shots are 10-7 for the Rangers. The Habs with a 3-2 lead after the first period. In the second period, the Rangers clear it first. Habs get a rush. Dobson doesn't shoot twice. He instead looks for the pass. The second time around, a Suzuki shot gets held by Shesterkin. That's all the Habs get 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Habs do get a bit of pressure. There's some good passes, but they just can't enter the zone. However, the Canadiens score. Hudson finally enters the zone. He has a nice little bit of a burst of speed. He has a nice clean pass, gets it to Josh Anderson, and holy shit, Stonehand scores! Josh Anderson with his 6th goal of the year. He breaks a 9-game pointless drought. Don't get used to that. That 9-game pointless drought will be back in 9 games probably. He scores from Hudson and Suzuki at 3:17. Oh heavens, yes! He makes it a 4-2 Canadiens game, and hey, just like that, Canadiens are up in front by 2. This should be good for them. Slavkovsky has a good hit as he goes in on a forecheck. Habs end up icing 1 moment later. Gavrikov then knocks down Caulfield. They shoved each other a little bit. Unfortunately, Caulfield did not end up fighting Gavrikov, as fun as that would have probably been. But unfortunately, what isn't as fun anyways, because this happens, Cooley. Will Cooley ends up scoring. He banks one off of Fowler and in. Laba then runs down Fowler. There's no penalty because, of course, why would there be? The Canadiens, Rangers have never run over a Canadiens goaltender before, and he clearly didn't mean to. That's the only goal that I would argue that Fowler probably should have. He probably should have been squeezing the post just a little bit more, but regardless, second game in the NHL. It's not like he's, 6-year veteran doing this. Second game in the NHL. Just point it out and move on. I guess we can move on. To another goal. The Rangers tie it up. JT Miller is given all the space in the world by Mike Matheson, and he ties it. Matheson, firstly, by the way, gives the puck, passing it along the boards. He ends up turning it over, and JT Miller puts it home. The locker room cancer, who is given the C for some inexplicable reason by Rangers management, he ties it up from Robertson and Sheary at 7:58. By the way, I don't think I need to say, but the Panarin goal is obviously unassisted because the penalty shot. Cooley scores from Robertson and Laba. So, Mike Matheson is a cancer. I have no clue why the hell we extended him, and I really, really am starting to doubt whether Hugo actually know what the hell they're doing with this team. The Habs end up giving the puck away. The Rangers lead the shots 6-0 since the Canadiens made it 4-2. Great offense we have. Habs end up with a bit of a press. Gallagher runs into Shesterkin, and Rangers fans bitch for a call. Habs look to get something. There was no shots for them for about 6 minutes, I'm pretty sure. There's a Trocheck shot off the post. That surprisingly goes the Canadiens' way. And we got a little bit more stuff going on. Trocheck at center. He ends up starting shit. There's a long-range shot held by Shesterkin, and 4 Rangers then go after Texier. Beck is the only one to go in there and defend him. Where the hell were the other 3 guys? No clue. We do end up going 4-on-4 as a result. It's Borgen and Beck both called 2 for roughing. That comes with just about 8 minutes left. Demidov. Rangers chance gets gloved down. Demidov the other way goes to Suzuki, but nothing there. Hudson's eventually pressured out of the zone by a Ranger. That was good D by the Rangers. Gallagher's hit hard by a Ranger. They had a little bit of momentum because of the 2 quick goals. Habs try to press with the top line. Suzuki has a backhand to the net. Caulfield then gets tripped by Shesterkin. There's no call, because why would there be? Both teams with turnovers, but not a lot of shots in the last 5 minutes. The fourth line for the Habs actually get a look in the last minute, but the Rangers with good defensive pressure. Matheson is a dangler around the Ranger, but of course he passes to Demidov offside. Because why would Matheson be trying to help the Canadiens? It's not like he wears their fucking jersey. The shots are 19-11 for the Rangers, but a 4-4 tie game after the second period. Haha, 9-11. Yeah, shots. Yeah, fuck off. Third period, Rangers turn the puck over. Demidov can't get it to Engstrom at the line. The Rangers almost press. Jack has a good hit behind the net. Beck has a hit at the benches to get in on a puck battle, but the eventual shot is deflected out of play. Habs try to press. They lead the shots. A grand total of 1-0, 5 minutes in. Habs they're slow. Their heads aren't in the game. They're not in the game. And then the Rangers score. 3 Rangers run into Fowler, and the puck is kicked in by Carrick. Almost immediately, it's waved a good goal, but the officials start discussing, and it's going to go to Toronto. So, and on the replay, it's clearly kicked in, and it takes maybe 30 seconds, if that. They come back, and yeah, no goal is expected. Still a 4-4 tie game, giving the Canadiens the slightest sliver of hope that they might potentially not completely fuck this up. Rangers have a press. There's a shot rebound given up to by Fowler, but that's cleared. More puck battles in the Rangers zone. The Habs just can't get anything going. The Rangers just very good at suffocating the Canadiens. The Habs, though, not doing a good job of this thing called adjusting. Marty is very clearly going to be another Pete DeBoer-esque coach. Rangers with some press. Habs playing decent defense, but it's only a matter of time. Habs end up icing a puck, and Anderson launches himself into the boards. I see he's also trying to help the Canadiens by getting himself injured. Lots of dump and chase. Carrier has a blue line shot wide. Jack-Eye then with a good hit on Laba in the Canadiens corner. Laba was slow to get up. He went to the bench. I think he stayed in the game, but he might not have. That might have just been his final shift anyways. Shesterkin nearly passes the puck right to Texier, but it's off his skate and right back to Igor. Habs rush with 8 minutes left. Demidov finds Kapanen, but that shot is held by Igor. Anderson finds Beck, but he's hit from behind. The Habs then get called on a hand pass because why would they call a penalty? That's too much work. Rangers come in offside, but there's no call. Rangers have a rush, but there's a stick by Dobson in the slot to break that up. Carrier and a Ranger then collide with each other as they go down. They nearly get skates in each other's faces. That was very dangerous looking, and I'm very glad that both men just not panicking, trying to get up, just, communicating with each other. Right? No, you get your skate out of here, and very glad that nobody comes out of that hurt. Canadiens have a rush. There's a chance for Texier that's held. Suzuki with 2 minutes left. He rushes along the wall, but the shot is squeezed and held by Shesterkin. Matheson 6 breaks, so he just fucking kicks a puck down for an icing. There are people that are willing to defend Mike Matheson, and I don't get what the fuck they're smoking, but I want some of it. Jesus. Rangers try to break in off of a Habs change, but they just can't. The other way, Dobson has a slapper deflected out of play. Marty, for some reason, calls his timeout with 12.7 seconds left. Habs lose the draw, of course, and Rangers almost press, but they lose the puck. The shots are 24-17 for the Rangers, and it's a 4-4 tie headed into overtime. The Rangers win the draw in overtime. They are slow to start. Habs end up turning it over. Habs calls a turnover. Caulfield in the zone looks for something, but just nothing. They don't come back out of the zone at least, but they're just passing, keeping it in the zone. A little bit of zone pressure. The Canadiens eventually get something. Caulfield has a shot, but that's held up as he's pushed by Gabrikov. During a change, the Rangers get a break because Matheson has no defensive awareness, but thankfully that one misses. The Canadiens then back the other way, and oh, look at that, Kapanen. He's on a breakaway. He gets a look, but that is just wide as well. What the hell are we doing? And then we get... The Rangers are gift-wrapped a power play. A very weak hook is called on Jake Evans. They had missed it too many men, and they also missed a hook on the Rangers. But because the guy that is giving a quote-unquote hook is wearing white, red, and blue, and not blue, white, and red, they're going to call it. Rangers press, there's a shot just wide. Matheson ends up finally touching up. That's before the power play even fucking happens. So yeah, Evans is called... it's called for a slash, actually. That's what they call it, but... Yeah, no clue how they can call that. I have no clue how these fucking officials... What are these officials' names? I'm just gonna give them for no exact reason. Kyle Riemann, Corey Svavrente, I believe he was a former bust in the National Hockey League. I'm pretty sure he played... No, he didn't even play in the National Hockey League. He was a 6th round draft pick. He just was never good enough to even make it out of the ECHL. Well, sad for you, brother. Trent Noor and Mark Shawchek. Would you believe it? One of these fucking officials have gotten 1,500 National Hockey League games. As an official. Not as a player. No. No official has ever played, I think, even more than 100 NHL games. One of these officials had 1,500 games. What a joke. Rangers do call their timeout. That's actually a very good. Call for them. Sorry. Fowler has a stop on Panarin off of some passing very quickly, and then they score. Miller wins it short side with a screen in front. He slaps it home, his 9th of the year from Zibanejad. And Trocheck, Habs are 0 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. So the penalty kill, which, by the way, we lost Armia, we lost Dvorak, we were too fucking cheap to pay those guys. We lost David Savard because, well, he felt like retiring. That's fine. Fair enough. And we said, nah, we don't gotta trade for anybody. We don't have to go out and trade for Sidney Crosby. We don't need to go out and, trade for Ryan O'Reilly, who could help our penalty kill. We don't need to go out and make a trade. Oh, we're gonna hurt the future. The future. We're gonna hurt it if we trade for somebody. So the Rangers win this game 5-4 in overtime. The shots end up being 28-17 for the Rangers. A game where the Canadiens just refused to play defense in front of Jacob Fowler, and therefore his stats plummet tonight. I'm just warning you guys, they do plummet, unfortunately, but somehow he is still the best goaltender on the Montreal Canadiens, and it's not even close. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I'm sick of this team being inconsistent and mediocre. It's time we fucking push Hugo. They gotta make a trade, whether it's Crosby, because the Penguins look like ass as of the last, 2-3 weeks. Whether it's trading for Crosby, trading for Ryan O'Reilly, trading for Steven Stamkos, trading for Nazem Kadri. Do fucking something. The most they've done this year is call up Florian Xhekaj and then send him down to keep using a useless Jared Davidson on their fourth line. And sign Alex Texier, who's been okay, but where the hell are the moves? Even if Newhook and Doc were still healthy, what the hell is that going to do? You have a third and a fourth line center. Perfect. Where's your second line center? It's not Oliver Kapanen. Even though he's got goals, Oliver Kapanen is not a second line center. He's getting those goals because he's got Ivan Demidov feeding him. When is something going to happen? It was the talk all summer. Yep, the Canadiens, they're looking for a second-line center. Yep, they're willing. The talk is, one of the first-round picks might be flipped for a second-line center. And then we go out and get Dobson, who's been pretty good, but just, what the hell happened to all the talk? Even if you're afraid of losing your first-round pick this year, who gives a shit? Past the top 3 picks, it's nothing. It's depth. Everybody's so afraid to trade their first-round pick this year. Canadiens need to do it. All right? It doesn't matter if we miss the playoffs by, say, 3 points. If we have a Sidney Crosby who can play for another 3-4 years, well, then you fucking do it. You go out, you trade. You trade a guy like, say, an Owen Beck, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick, and the contract of Josh Anderson. You do it. You do it. You make the move. Minnesota just did that when they traded for Quinn Hughes. They said, hey, when a player like that is available, you give up what you can. What did they give up? They gave up a second-line center. They gave up one of their top D prospects. I don't even know if you can consider him a prospect. He's playing in the league right now. They gave up a depth winger who was a former first-round pick, and they gave up a first-round pick this year. The Minnesota Wild went all in because they can. Because Quinn Hughes is a great player. That's understating it even. Sidney Crosby is still a great fucking player. Now, I'm not saying for you to give up David Reinbacher and Michael Hage and Alex Zorofsky. No. But if you can pull off a similar trade of, say, Philip Mazar or Owen Beck, preferably Philip Mazar, a first-round pick, say Josh Anderson is comparable to Liam Ogren. I don't mean to insult Liam Ogren, but He's got no points this year. I think he's most comparable to Josh Anderson. And then you give up, say, I don't know, Veleno for a body. Or, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're fine with running Malkin as the top line center for a few months until he leaves to go back to Russia. And Anderson is just a body there. He's got a little bit of term, too. Anderson or Gallagher. Preferably Anderson, though. Like, there's such a move you can make. You can make a move here. And I have no goddamn idea why the GM isn't doing anything. I have no clue why Hughes and Gordon aren't pulling the trigger. They've been in on guys. They've apparently been talking about Kiefer Sherwood. They've been talking about they've been discussing Ryan O'Reilly. They've been discussing Kadri. I'm tired of hearing about discussing. I want action. I don't care if Newhook and Doc are going to be back soon. I don't care if Gooley's going to be back soon on the blue line. Gooley being back solves a few issues. Yes, he goes on to the penalty kill. He probably plays that second line with, more than likely, I would imagine Lane Hudson, and they put Matheson and Dobson back together. But I don't care if Gooley's going to be back. That fixes the blue line issue. Where is the second line center issue? You've known about this since the summer. Hell, we had this issue last year. We've had this issue for 2-3 years now. Where the hell is the second line center? I get Michael Hage is going to be that in the future. But where's that second line center now? The Canadiens are a playoff potential team. Where are the moves to help this team now? You've done the moves to help this team 4, 5, 6, 7 years in the future. Where are they to improve the team now and reward this team? Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield are point per game. Ivan Demidov is third on the team in points as a rookie. Sorry, fourth on the team, actually. But still, he is third in forwards. Third in points for forwards. Lane Hudson is looking like he's going to put up another 60-point season. Yuri Slafkovsky has been great depth. Noah Dobson's been good. Oliver Kapanen's been playing good. Move him to the wing. You know? Like, this team has a bit of offense. Go out, get a center like Ryan O'Reilly. I don't care if he can crash his car into the Tim Hortons. We've got a bunch of those in Canada, sure, but I think it's a risk we're willing to take. Go out and trade for Nazem Kadri. He played for Toronto, sure. He's a veteran at this point. I don't give a shit how bad his cap hit might end up being. He's a second-line center. That's something the Canadiens want. Go out and get Sidney Crosby. Go out and get fucking Steven Stamkos. He still has his shot. We need goal scoring, clearly. He's a guy who can do that. If you have Demidov feeding him the puck, Stamkos teaching Demidov his shot, Stamkos helping Demidov, hey, when I'm here, you can pass me here, getting that chemistry going, then you do it. I don't want to wait for Alex Zarofsky and Michael Hage to make up this top six. I want a veteran presence who's actually good, who can play legitimate minutes still, who can help guys like Demidov and Kapanen and when they come up next year, Zarofsky and potentially Hage. I'm sure Hage, if he comes over from college, plays in the A next year, but Florian Jacki, for example, you know, like, I want this team to be good now into the future. I don't want to wait another 2-3 years for this team to be a legit cup contender. The Minnesota Wild just took their team from being a mediocre, okay team to a cup contender because they traded for the third best defenseman in the NHL. And I want that for my team. I don't care if it's 37-year-old Sidney Crosby. The dude is going to be able to play until he's 42, 43 if he really wants to. If Crosby is like Jaromir Jagr. He's going to play until he just wants to stop. Until he thinks, okay, you know what, I'm fine not playing hockey anymore. He will keep going. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to rant too much tonight, and then I just wound myself up, and we got going. Let's get into the stats, and then let's get out of here. So Nick Suzuki, of course, leads the Canadiens in points. He's got 8 goals, 28 assists for 36 points. He has, my thing says 5 assists in 6 games, but I believe that is actually wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the other way. Yes, No, I actually marked that down completely wrong. He actually has 5 assists in his last 4 games. Sorry, Nick Suzuki. The stats were right, but just the little note I had was wrong. Sorry. Cole Caulfield leads the Canadiens in goals with 17. He's also got 16 assists for 33 points. Lane Hutson's got 5 goals and 21 assists for 26 points. He has 12 points in his last 11 games. Ivan Demidov with 6 goals and 18 assists for 24 points. He loses a 5-game assist streak, unfortunately. Yuri Slafkovsky has 9 goals and 9 assists for 18 points. Noah Dobson has 4 goals and 14 assists for 18 points. Oliver Kapanen with 10 goals and 6 assists for 16 points. Mike Matheson, 4 goals, 12 assists for 16 points. He is, of course, a -8 in his last 8 games. Zach Bolduc has 7 goals and 7 assists for 14 points. Now 12 of his 14 points have been scored on the road. Alex Newhook, who's unfortunately hurt, has 6 goals and 6 assists for 12 points. Brendan Gallagher with 2 goals and 9 assists for 11 points. Josh Anderson breaks a 9-game pointless drought. He now has 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points. Jake Evans snaps a 6-game pointless drought with 5 goals and 4 assists for 9 points. Alex Carrier breaks a 7-game pointless drought with a goal and 8 assists for 9 points. Kirby Dach, who's unfortunately still hurt, has 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. Alex Texier has a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Jaden Struble has 4 assists. He's on an 11-game pointless drought. That doesn't change because, again, he was a healthy scratch tonight. Caden Gooley, who's unfortunately still hurt, Arbor Jacki, and Joe Veleno all have a goal and an assist for 2 points. Jacki, like I said, snaps a 25-game pointless drought, and Joe Veleno snaps a 10-game pointless drought. Patrick Laine, who's unfortunately still hurt, Florian Jacki back in Laval, who kicked Michael Pezzetta's ass last night, and Jared Davidson all have an assist. Arbor Jacki, he's leading the Canadiens with 4 fights. Jaden Struble has 2, while Josh Anderson, Caden Gooley, Joe Veleno, and Florian Jacki all have a fight as well. In terms of the goaltenders, Jakob Dobesh, has 10 goals. If he had 10 goals, holy hell. 10 wins, 5 losses, and 2 overtime losses, a 3.15 goals against average, and an .887 save percentage. Samuel Montembeault with a 5-6-1 record, a 3.65 goals against average, and .857 save percentage. And Jacob Fowler with a 1-0-1 record in his career so far, a 3.42 goals against average, and an .891 save percentage. So yeah, that is going to do it for today's episode of the HabWrap. Let's hope that next time we come up here, I'm talking about a win tomorrow against the Oilers. Because if we lose to that miserable franchise, my God. Yeah, so again, that is going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Amazon, Spotify, wherever you might be listening to this on. Don't forget to share the podcast with anybody who you think might enjoy, whether they're a Canadiens fan, they're a hockey fan looking for a Canadiens podcast, or they're just somebody who you think might enjoy listening to some fat kid from Quebec talk about the Montreal Canadiens for half an hour after every game. Thank you all again so much for watching. My name's Harry Rice. And always remember, no matter how good we are like last year, how good we are like this year, or how great we'll be in the future, go Habs go, allez Montreal, c'est la boo. And I want to do this because, god damn it, it fits, and it works, and consider this my audition tape. Live from New York, it's Saturday night. And once again, say it with me, everybody, because it feels wrong ending the podcast on something else. C'est la boo.